Hello everyone and welcome to my first full-length YouTube video. I'm Hannah. Janet is my slow fashion, sustainable fashion business. I hand make clothes and I source vintage and I sell them online and in some markets in person. So I've posted a few shorts on YouTube, kind of dipping my toe in the YouTube waters the last few weeks, but kind of my goal was to ultimately create long form content on YouTube. I'm thinking I'll probably post around once a month. It's not going to be like a weekly thing. Maybe it eventually will build to that, but for now it's just going to be once a month, just kind of getting a grasp at editing. I actually used to have a personal YouTube channel, if anyone remembers that. Who knows me? If anyone remembers that, who knows me? It's a little cringe, but it's okay. So this is going to be less my personal life. I'm sure there will be some personal things, but it's mainly just going to be about behind the scenes of my business, like working on photo shoots, working on developing patterns, all of those things that go behind the scenes. So yeah, I'm excited to start. For my first video of 2023, I thought it'd be a great idea to do like my goals, and I don't want to call them resolutions, but really just my goals for Janet in 2023. And my favorite thing to do is to create a visual with it, and then I can print this out in my studio where I work so I can see it every day and I can like write what I actually wrote down on the back of the paper, but then the front will have the images that correspond with it. So I'm gonna put a screen recording of my laptop and I'm just gonna talk through it as I go. I love watching things like this, so I'm excited to share, and let me know how you like this format, and let's get started. All right, so I have my laptop up right here. It's like right below the camera, so I'm going to insert the screen recording. I'll like scooch to the side and hopefully it's right here. Like I said, I'm not super apt, is that the right word? I'm not super apt at filming and everything, so we're just gonna see how it goes. All right, so now I'm ready. I'm screen recording. Everything should be good. So I like to work on Canva. That's my favorite place. I started using this in college and I would use it all the time to make mood boards when I didn't have access to Photoshop. And it's a lot easier than Photoshop, which actually also my friend just told me about a Pinterest. I actually have I have one going already because I did a personal one. I always do one for myself, and this is actually the first year that I'm kind of doing a proper one for Janet as well, but I think it'll be fun. Okay, so we're just gonna go on past. But my friend also told me about Pinterest shuffles. I have not tried it yet. I downloaded the app, but I haven't like worked on it yet. But she said it was basically like a Photoshop but easier, so I'm very intrigued by that, and I definitely want to try to use it more. All right, so here's my Canva board. It's just an 8x11 because I want to print it, and it's not going to be fancy when I print it because I'm just going to use a regular printer, but if you had the ability, you could print it on like really good high def paper and have it printed. So what I did beforehand, because I just wanted to make, otherwise it'd be super long if I was like trying to source all the images on this video, was I went ahead and found images that in my mind correspond to the goals that I have written down, and I have my goals right here to go through so that I know what they are. And like I said, what I'm gonna do is put the images on, and then when I print it, I'm gonna flip it over and write down what I wrote so that I don't have to worry about losing it in my notes, because I'm always writing in my notes and things get lost. All right, so over here I already have these three like social media icons, so I'll just go ahead and skip to that. Oh, that's the first one. Okay, that's the first one. So my first one is create content that I am happy and proud to post. That's like the first part of that, because definitely my number one struggle with my business probably is social media, which some people are probably like, If that's your only problem, like, you are set. But it's just so, you never can stop with social media. Like, you have to be creating all the time, creating new content. And I'm like I'm at the point where I don't want to just create, I don't want to post just to post. Like, I want to actually create content that I find beautiful. I think social media can be a beautiful place. But I don't want to just be like putting random things out there. There's so much noise on the internet anyway, so I want to be creating things that I find beautiful and that I think actually represent Janet, and kind of build my socials that way if I can, you know. Yeah, the next thing that I really want to focus on this year, and I'm actually already like putting that into motion, is working with a range of models. Like, and models is a light word. I want to use models that when other people come to my website or my socials, they're like, I feel very welcome here. I feel included, things like that. That's very important to me, and I feel like that's something that I could definitely do better on. So that is definitely my next, one of my really big goals this year is the social media thing and the models. Like, reaching out to different models, because just, I say models because that's just what they are, when like, that's just what you call someone who's like wearing your clothes for you and taking photos, but they're not going to be actual, you know, they don't have to be models like what we think of when we think of a model. So that's definitely something. This image is from, I believe, Jerf Avenue's Instagram. I love Jerf Avenue. Oh, something else I wanted to include with the social media. This is Mexican Fairy's Instagram feed. She has such a good feed, and she actually sells jewelry, if I am not mistaken, but she just has a very aesthetically pleasing feed. So that kind of goes along with the social media aspect. Honestly, I might get rid of the TikTok because it's just annoying me. It's ugly. I don't like it. So I might not even need these two. I'm not going to include the Instagram. I'm going to include the YouTube, because I have this little feed here that kind of represents the Instagram. So definitely want to up my Instagram, work with more models. And as I go, I'll like rearrange the images in a more aesthetically pleasing way. Next is source more and better vintage. I really, really want to source vintage designer. I love Sororite Vintage on Instagram, I believe is how you pronounce it. They have such stunning clothes. I don't want to copy them, but they sell vintage designer, mostly lingerie. And I do really want to start sourcing more beautiful lingerie. I just think it's so stunning. I love that it's just meant to make you feel sexy. And I think that's really beautiful and something that I really want to work on this year. All right, let's see what's next. Again, with the content and the social media, that's clearly a big goal for me. I included it essentially twice. I didn't really realize that I kind of repeated myself, but I want to take it seriously and really make it a goal to upload consistent content that I think is really beautiful and that I'm really proud of, while not compromising my mental health. For some reason, for me, and I'm sure maybe a lot of other people too, I feel like social media does this to people. It gets draining so quickly, so fast, and because it's just a constant. Like, you can't just you can take breaks, obviously, but it's not like a 9-to-5 job where you're done at the end of the day. Like, it's with social media, you're like constantly thinking of new content, new ideas. So I think with the photo shoots with more models, that is kind of going along with upping my social media, creating aesthetic images. And another part of that is just not being afraid or feeling stupid. Like with this YouTube video, I've been really kind of nervous about it because you know how it is. Like, you're kind of putting yourself out there, and it kind of makes me nervous. But I think, is it SZA who said, don't let the fear of looking stupid hold you back, or something like that? And I feel like I've been seeing a lot of reels and TikToks on that, people like quoting that and showing like they're actually going to put themselves out there and start posting on social media like they want to. So I just don't want to be afraid anymore to do it. Like, I have this business and I want it to be successful, and like it or not, social media is a huge part of that now. That is like essentially the marketing. That's like what we do for marketing these days. So my next, this is kind of just it's kind of personal, but it's true. Is do more outrageous designs. This is just a girl, she just looks like she's designing, sketching, doing whatever. I have a lot of sketches in my sketchbook that are they're the only way I can describe them is outrageous. They're not outrageous, but they're just more difficult, more intense. And I feel like I just design more simple things, which there's nothing wrong with designing more simple things, but I just want to challenge myself to design, kind of stretch my limits in sustainable fashion design. I actually remember that was a goal I had made for myself coming into 2022. I had not yet started Janet. I started Janet in May of 2022, but I knew I wanted to start it, and I was kind of planning for once I graduated that I was going to start it. So I kind of made that goal for myself, and I do definitely feel like I pushed myself, and so I just want to continue to push myself, try crazy things, you know, not be afraid. If they not being afraid if they fail, because you know you're never gonna know unless you try. So next one is be original, stop comparing, stop beating myself up, and stop imposter syndrome. So it's kind of a long one, but I don't know, I feel like every once in a while I'll get in my head and I'm like, I don't even hold a candle to these other designers in the world. Like, what makes me think that I am going to be successful at this? And that is such a bad mindset to have, and I know that, and I will actively like push those thoughts away when they come, but they do come, and sometimes they come more often than others. It just depends, and that kind of comes with comparing, which is hard with social media because I do enjoy looking through social media, but I will often find myself comparing to other people, to other designers, and being like how do they come up with those ideas, or you know, whatever. Just comparing myself to them and thinking like I'm never gonna reach that level, but that's such a negative take to have on it, and I don't want that. I want to be confident in myself. I want to build myself up, you know. I don't need to be tearing myself down in my mind. So just actively making a point to not compare and just be happy for these other designers that are so successful, because they had to start somewhere as well. Like, they had to start at the point that I am, maybe. You know, every situation is different, but not everyone blows up overnight. But I do want to build like a solid foundation of followers who love my work and who want to support me and come back time and time again. Like, I love other designers and go back to their pages and like check up on their social media and things like that. I want to build that. I don't necessarily want to be viral. I don't really have an image that kind of corresponds with that, but my last goal in all caps is to make a swimsuit. This one's just kind of fun, like just a very specific goal. All right, and there we have it. That is my 2022 goals video. I hope you enjoyed it. I had fun. I like talking about it. It's nice even just for me to talk about it out loud, even just to myself. I'm alone, obviously. But it's nice to talk through and just kind of give yourself goals for the new year. I definitely try to call them goals and not resolutions. I almost feel like goals is a more positive way to look at it. And there's just things that I want to implement into my brand over the year. I'm not planning on everything being exactly as I want it in the next month. That is not going to happen. So I definitely just encourage you to think of positive things. And if you're thinking of resolutions, think of it in a positive way, not like I need to change everything about myself for this new year, new me. No, like, you're perfect as you are. but we can all improve a little bit here and there. The fun thing about goals and resolutions is they're not, you know, stuck in stone. They're not set in stone. They're just there to remind you, okay, this is what I want to accomplish this year. And if you look back a year from now, you didn't accomplish any of it, but you accomplished so many other things, then that's fine, you know? So just have fun and Happy New Year. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season. If you celebrate Christmas, I hope you had a Merry Christmas. 2023 is going to be a great year. I'm excited. I can't believe another year has come and gone, but I'm excited for 2023. It's going to be a great, beautiful year, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. Let me know any videos you'd like to see. All my socials will be linked down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.